My name is Twyla,
My name is Julio.
and we really wanted to take the opportunity to share our story and the impact that Always Home has had in our lives. So, we have two children. Our son Leo just turned 4, and our daughter Alina will be 2 in the summertime. They could not be more different from each other, but they're so wonderful and special in their own ways. Our son Leo, he's super outgoing and silly, and our daughter, she's a little bit more discerning and slow to warm up to people, but then when she does, she's like mostly spice and a little bit of sugar on the side. So we have some very special news. Right now we're pregnant with baby number 3. So this fall we'll be welcoming another little human into the family. In May of 2019 is when he came down with a respiratory cold that he had referred to as the worst cold of his life. And he improved for a little bit, but never quite was the same.
One day I come home and she's had enough. She's just like, okay, I'm making dinner. Go to the emergency room. They'll tell you you're okay. And, we'll have dinner. Like, I take off my boots. My feet are just swollen, like so bad, like balloons. And I'm like, okay, this isn't okay. I go to the ER and I spend about an hour there. I tell them like what's going on. They get me in right away. And they're like, okay, we're going to do a couple tests. A doctor comes in and she's like, okay, so we're going to start treating you for congestive heart failure. Once my family came in, then I kind of like started to piece together the gravity of the situation. Little did I know that I wasn't going to leave the hospital for over a month. From there, I was just trying to kind of figure out what was happening to me, as doctors behind me didn't want to tell a 25-year-old young man who has an infant at home that, his heart is slowly like killing itself.
My sole focus was just being with him because there was a lot of days where I didn't know if it would be my last day with him. Very quickly, we realized, just how much trouble we were in with our rent and the bills that had accumulated. Our car also happened to break down at that time, and not just a small fix, it needed a complete new transmission. Asking for help can be one of the hardest things when you're in a vulnerable and a unstable situation, and the way that Always Home came in and so quietly gave us back our life. There wasn't a big to-do. They just went behind the scenes. They asked me the questions. They asked what our needs were, and then they did all the work for us, and we were able to focus on healing and recovery, and they took care of all of the big looming things that were too big for us to even think about in those moments. Just before Christmas, it was a really lovely time to be gifted with such a huge weight off of our shoulder. It was more than just a car. It was really everything to us at that time.
Was.
Always Home gave our family a fresh start. They gave us hope when we had none. And by supporting Always Home, you help families like ours to restart from devastating circumstances and to give families hope again when they don't see a light at the end of the tunnel.
I've never been shy to share this story, and that's why I go about saying too much. Pretty much everyone that I run into, I'm like, hi, my name is Julio. I have congestive heart failure and this is what happened to me. So I have no problem with, letting people know what happened to our family. But I've also don't have any problem saying that we asked for help. We asked Always Home for help. We asked everyone we could for help. And with all the love and support, we're able to be back in a happy and healthy place.